Welcome back to the Zero Doubt podcast, where today's episode is all about aligning purpose, creativity, and spirit. I sit down with Carrie, a designer, entrepreneur, and the heart behind Kismet Wear, a spiritual activewear brand infused with intention and positive affirmations. Carrie's journey from dental hygienist to boutique owner is inspiring, and it all began with a trip to Costa Rica with a powerful massage from an intuitive healer that sparked something deep inside of her. In this episode, we talk about how to stay grounded while building your dreams, balancing hustle with a high energy vibe, living through gratitude, organization, movement, and a strong connection to universal consciousness. So whether you're looking to start your own business, elevate your mindset, or simply feel aligned with your purpose, this conversation will leave you lit up. Let's get into it. Carrie, what's up?
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no. So tell me, what was the inspiration to coming on?
Basically, I think it's a good opportunity maybe to share my story. And thanks for inviting me too.
Yeah, of course. Anyone who wants to share their story can come on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll spread the word.
Yeah, seriously, spread it.
Yeah.
Share your story. So where are you on your
On my
story? Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I am by day a dental hygienist, and then by every other hour of the day an entrepreneur. I started a business called Kismet Wear about a year ago, and it's an activewear line. I call it spiritual activewear, and it's basically these pieces that I curate from different places that have positive affirmations on them. So it's meant for self-love and to spread love, because we all need that.
Yeah.
It was inspired by a trip I took to Costa Rica a couple years ago, and I kept saying that the trip was Kismet. And I had an experience with a massage therapist who also happened to be an intuitive healer. And at the end of the session, she shared some things with me that were kind of profound and moving. And with that, and a conversation I had with one of the property owners down there, I decided I would love to have a rental property down there. And I bought an investment property about a year before that. So I thought, well, I need another source of income to do so. So that's kind of what inspired Kismet Wear, was an extra source of income for me to buy an income property down eventually, which would be like my retirement down in Costa Rica. And it's sort of turned into this really fun adventure, much bigger than I thought it would be. And so it's what initially was just, it was supposed to be an extra stream of income, has kind of led on a personality of its own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't just income, though. There was a message behind it, I think, also, right?
Mm-hmm. It just, Kismet itself means faithful or meant to be. And a lot
faithful or meant to be.
Mm-hmm. And so in my life, including buying my first rental property, things have happened very fatefully for me. And even on my journey with Kismet Wear, people have come into my life or things have happened that were, not by coincidence. So I think that shows that you are definitely on your life's path when you are guided in a certain direction.
When things are thrown your way and it just feels right and things are happening and moving in a good way, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Or you might meet people or run into different people or have things change, maybe even that you thought was potentially a bad thing initially, or not what you thought your life, where you thought your life was going, and it turns out to be something better.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty good lesson in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this all happened from going to Costa Rica and getting a massage from a healer.
Yeah, it was kind of like a combination of the whole trip. I was initially supposed to take this trip with a friend, and things fell through, so I ended up going solo. And the whole trip kind of turned into this really beautiful experience. And since that experience a couple years ago, I've actually been down there 2 more times, because it just is such a magical place that you're sort of drawn to it. So lots of really great things happen. The people down there are lovely. I'm really into nature and animals, and it's like a plethora of all those things.
Yes. When you're down there, you just feel energetically different.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Mm-hmm.
So do you like go there for like your creativity and stuff like that?
So the second time I went down, I brought my photographer down with me, and we did a photo shoot on the beach with one of my lines. And this last time I went with my family, and we did a little bit of work and play as well. I kind of videoed some different things for that. And it's a time for me to kind of ground and take a time out, because in my life, 24/7, I am, if anybody that knows me very well, I'm never sitting down. I'm always
Really
go, go, go. So it gives me opportunity to kind of have some respite.
okay. But here's the thing. You're here now, though, and you're operating this business, and you're a dental hygienist, but yet you're still kind of tuned in, right? You're on your journey. Mm-hmm. So what are the steps that you take to stay in that high vibration?
One big thing is I'm big on, and I did this the other day, and I kind of had to correct myself. Positive self-talk is huge. Even when you make mistakes, you have to, don't say, oh gosh, that was stupid, which I did the other day, and I had to correct myself.
Yeah, we all do that, though.
Right. So,
but you were aware.
We are only what we tell ourselves. So if we tell ourselves that we're constantly making mistakes, then that's what we're going to believe about ourselves. So positive self-talk and being grateful too. Being grateful for whatever my circumstance is, because again, that is meant to happen at that moment, whatever the circumstances. And also trying to stay organized, which is pretty tough to do when you have so many things going on at the same time. So the bonus of having a business that I enjoy doing is I can sort of do it on my own terms, and I don't feel this immense pressure to do X, Y, Z all the time, because I can be in my creative. My day job as a hygienist is very...
You're still full-time there.
Yeah. Very regimented, very, on a time schedule. You're doing, clinical things. And then when I'm doing my business, I can tap into my creativity. And then when you see people that buy your things or are repeat customers and share their experiences of, I love your message, or that kind of like sparks you to want to continue to do it.
Yeah. So before you had your business, you were a dental hygienist. How were you then? Like, how was your life?
I have always been kind of a go, go, go person. Very active. I go to the gym a lot. I love yoga. I love traveling. So I have always kind of kept myself busy in one way or another. I'm a mother. I have a son who's an adult. And so once he turned 18 and moved out of the house, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I have
time.
I have time and
or energy.
Yeah, and like what am I going to do to fill this time? So I quickly did that, filled my time with different things. Yeah, starting businesses and so forth.
Yeah, the rental, right? You said that was your first business?
Yeah. I knew that was a goal and a plan for many years to own property and have that be part of my retirement. And life throws things at you, and I got divorced and moved on the west side from the east side and rented a duplex. And I thought to myself, you know what, I can still do this. I can do this by myself and not rely on a partner or a man. And that's kind of my mantra and that was my mantra for going to college, is I don't want to ever have to rely on anybody else.
Okay, so myself. It started at 18.
It started, very young, and becoming a mother, basically. And,
at a young age, right?
I was 19 when I had my son. And so being able to do things as a single woman, and it kind of encourages you, and hopefully encourages other people to know that you can do it too.
Yeah, for sure. So the business now, and do you see it going as your main gig?
I get asked that question a lot.
I'm sure.
I tell people I'm gonna go wherever it takes me. So wherever that ends up, I'm just flowing with it.
You're just flowing right now through life.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever, I mean, if it ends up this year, I was able to be a part of a collaborative effort in Legacy Village. So I do have some of my clothes in a collaborative space called Locally Spruced, which was really cool to like be in a brick and mortar and have my clothes where people can actually come and shop. So who knows, like maybe that'll get bigger. Maybe it'll kind of stay where it's at. I think being open to whatever kind of lends opportunity for big things to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Like living in Costa Rica too, huh?
yeah.
So what else? What else about your story do you want to share?
Pretty much, I have conversations a lot with people that think that I'm different in some way when I do certain things. Like, how do you do that? How did you buy a house? How did you do? And my response is, the difference between me and you is I just did it. I'm not smarter or wealthier or have any other advantages than anybody else, other than you get past the point of being scared or being doubtful of yourself, and just taking the leap of faith and being confident to know that no matter what happens from A to B, I will be successful. So when you have that mind frame, like, you can do anything. And I think a lot of people, they stop short of where their potential is because they doubt themselves and they don't think that they're in a position to do whatever it is, but they're really capable. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, no, that is a beautiful story. That's zero doubt. That's what it's all about. Okay, so then, what's your advice to someone who's just, a good friend? I don't know. I have this idea potentially, but I'm also full-time. I don't have the energy, I don't think. Like, what's your advice?
So this is kind of funny because I liken this to when my patients tell me they don't have time to floss their teeth. I say, it's not that you don't have time to do that, you don't prioritize it. So you have 24 hours in a day, and right now, being the era that it is, everyone is on social media, so like more than we need to be, right? Including myself. So if that is a priority for you, make it a priority, and don't give yourself excuses, because those excuses are just roadblocks for you doing whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, 100%. And through your business, like, I think you're gonna touch women. Your clothing line is only for women, right?
It's mostly
right now.
women.
Yeah,
I had a line for men, and it sold out, and
that's a good sign.
yeah, so will be having men's clothes again when I can restock, but mostly it's women's clothes.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your morning routine?
Oh my gosh, admittedly, I'm not a morning person, so my morning.
So there you go. Like, if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, here we go, morning person wakes up at 5 a.m, another one of these stories."
Yeah.
No, Carrie's not a morning
I'm not
person.
a morning
I don't think
person.
I'm a morning person either. I just
No.
wake up. You got to just kind of get up when
Yeah.
you get up.
Yeah, I get up in just enough time to, do the basics before I go to work in the morning. I'm like a late night person, and I don't know. I have ADHD, so I don't know if it's my neurodivergence that keeps me up at night and prevents me from getting up early in the morning.
Something's going on, huh?
It's just it's hard to turn the brain off at night. So
what time do you go to bed?
oh gosh, I try. It depends, but usually like midnight.
Yeah.
Ish.
Okay.
Give or take.
So yeah, you're that kind of a person that puts their creativity in the evening.
Yeah, And
Because
so
you prioritize it instead of watching Netflix.
this sounds weird,
Or
but
you probably do both.
no, I don't watch TV.
Okay.
Not on purpose. I like TV, but I just
Prioritize.
don't prioritize it.
Yeah.
So I'll do gym at night. Work on my Kismet Wear at night. It's pretty much my life is like evening time.
Evening time. So how do you wind down?
I live in Lakewood, so I have a front porch that I like to hang out on and just kind of chill and.
So outside looking at like the sunset, stuff like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. So it sounds like to me that you are saying that if you don't doubt yourself and you just create some moves, then stuff will happen in your favor, and synchronicities and meeting people at the right time, all of that.
1,000%.
You just have to have zero doubt.
Yes.
Full faith. Do you feel like you were always like that? Maybe born into that? Because some souls are.
I feel like as I got older and sort of leaned into like the spirituality aspect of it, it got a little bit more prominent in my life. And you were talking about like synchronicities. I see synchronicities all the time. It's like a huge thing in my life.
Give me a couple examples.
So I typically see them on license plates. So when I'm driving, I'll see
777?
Yeah,
Well,
whatever
I saw
it is.
that one the other day too.
Yeah, you got to look up the meaning when you.
And
see
it was
that.
July 7th too. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, so that's a sign. That's like
I saw it on a
universe
big
telling you.
truck, 2019. This is how this all started. It said Spirit on the side of it.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know, isn't
That's
it great?
exactly-
That's when you know you're like walking your path. I mean, look, everyone is walking their path. It's
Right.
just how aware are you that there's this society matrix that you're caught up in, like maybe too much on your phone and you miss a sign from the
Yes.
universe, right?
Exactly.
But it's in the backdrop. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think different things for different people are kind of put in front of them such that they do notice it if they're kind of like tapped in, if you want to say that. But when I used to talk about this stuff, my friends would be like, "Oh, okay, like you're kind of weird," but
Yeah.
I totally lean into it, and I absolutely believe there's a higher power, but I also believe that we are divinely guided in that we're kind of, and when you live in that space of knowing that you're divinely guided and knowing that, you're supported, also in that, more of those types of people will start coming in your path, and then creates this like really cool.
Yeah. Because when you know that you're guided, your body, your aura is vibrating at a different energetic frequency.
Yes.
And energy is the backdrop of everything, right?
Yes.
There's energy consciousness, and we're a part of that web. So when you are in that state of like everything is supposed to be as is, then it's a good frequency and you'll get more of that. It really is as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. And people think, because when you talk in terms of energy and synchronicities and so forth, that it's like some witchy woo-woo thing, and it's science, it's quantum physics, it's like actual real palpable things that are real. So you're absolutely right. When you're vibrating at a certain frequency, you will attract whatever people are vibrating at your same frequency. So the highest level of vibration is authenticity and gratitude. So when you are in that space, goes back to what I said earlier, self-talk and being positive to yourself and having gratitude, that resonates, and that is something that other people pick up on. I try to be a positive person and a kind person in all spaces, and it's noticeable because you then attract those types of people around you.
Yes.
When you're genuine and you genuinely care.
And I will say this, there's some people that are listening and probably like, okay, well, like that doesn't feel good. There's no way I'm going to be like this different vibration all the time. And you got to ask yourself, are you recharging? Because if you're not recharging your body, then it is very hard to, say, walk into the grocery store and just always be like smiling and saying hi to people. So, but if you feel good and you're getting the right amount of sleep and nutrition and you're practicing gratitude and all these other things, again, you're energetically going to start, it's like you're going to trick your mind by upgrading your body.
Yes, yes. And to your point, if you, like what you eat, garbage in, garbage out. Like if you eat a bunch of crud, and you're going to feel cruddy. If you're not exercising and treating your body right and doing all of those things, that reflects in your psyche, your physical body, and all of that. So taking care of yourself is huge. That's another thing I try to be very mindful of. I did a New Year's resolution this year, no alcohol for 2025.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So
and so how's that going?
It's great.
Good? Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like have you done a lot of New Year's resolutions?
I try to do something every year, but
Did you know like 80% fail?
really?
Yeah. That's a stat we use around here. Because we don't want you to set a New Year's resolution. We just want you to set it now. Set the intention of
Right.
what you want now and do it. But good for you you're different though. You're like, if you set an intention, then you do it.
Yeah. And again, I'm not better or different
Yeah,
than
you're
anything
not
else.
different, right?
It's just it's more so I'm just doing it, right?
You're just doing it, and again, it's the negative thoughts that pull you out. You have good intention when you set an intention, like your heart's in it, you want to do it, and then what happens? Negative thoughts come in. You're not going to really do this. Come on, there's no way. There's a party, there's a birthday. John's birthday's coming up. Your best friend in a month.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
Right. And I've had my friends, because historically, yeah, I have drank and loved to party and hang out, and I'm a very social person. And a lot of their reactions were, oh, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. Or good luck.
Oh, yeah. The people you hang around with, right? I'm talking about even thoughts that you have yourself, but then you throw in the people that you hang around with. Yeah. It's challenging.
I think part of it goes into, you can say I'm different in that, yes, I'm not the 80% that don't do it. But when I set a goal, like say buying a property or starting a business or whatever it is, I'm tapped in. So part of that is like, I'm not going to doubt myself, and you're not going to doubt me either. So when I have friends or family saying, oh, kind of good luck, we'll see how it goes, with no drinking, that just encourages me even more to do it, because,
they're doubting you and you don't doubt yourself. So
Yeah.
it's a powerful mix.
Yeah.
So the key is first to always never doubt yourself, no matter where you're at in life. And then the outside world will doubt you, and you use that as fuel.
Yeah.
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 So you talked about goals. You're good at setting and hitting goals. So what's your process?
I think a lot of it has to do with my energy levels. I don't have an off button. So when things, go, like, for example, buying my property, it's always like, okay, what's next? So then I have something in my head, and so right now my goal is to kind of maintain my Kismet Wear, keep that going. And then my next focus is to get another property here in the States first before I do in Costa Rica. But I also have to tell myself, you don't need to do everything all at once. I have to kind of like slow myself down a little bit and have some respite, because we all need a little bit of, there's days where I just...
You have to turn it off.
I do nothing. And those days are few and far between, because I'm normally like 7 days a week.
But you do take a full day to do nothing, relax, recharge.
At least
compared
a chunk
to your
of the day, I'll say. At
okay.
least a chunk of the day. There's almost never
and you're
a day.
completely cool with yourself about it.
I have to be.
Yeah.
Because I think to myself, like, I I know I work a lot and I know I do a lot. So I'm not going to beat myself up if I'm lazy for a day or part of a day or whatever. It's okay. I can.
And that's a big one for people. That's why they don't do it.
Because they feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how else? There's got to be other ways that you recharge. Do you sleep well? Do you get 7 hours of like you feel like you're getting great sleep?
For the most part, yeah. But I do definitely. I meditate sometimes. Yoga is a big thing for me. I have different friends that do like sound baths and different things that are like, yeah.
That stuff works.
That's kind of where I unwind and kind of take a step back. I'm a big nature person, like I said. So even like my friend and I went for a walk in Rocky River Reservation the other day, like being out and, soaking up the sun and enjoying outside and kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. Mm-hmm. You talked about spirituality. Have you always been a spiritual person, or did life give you some like wake-up calls?
So I was raised Catholic, and then for the first part of my life, and then Lutheran for the second part of my life. I do believe in God. And if my family's watching this, they're sorry. I do believe in God, but
well, yeah, of course.
More
like
information I gather, will say, I'm more of the mindset of the realm of, and it's close to like Hinduism and that sort of thing, but subscribing to like a religion, I really don't do that anymore. It's more like, okay, God is over all of us, and being a good person and being kind and doing those kind of things are more important than maybe, stepping in a church. And not to say that those things are wrong. Those might work for other people.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah. So you're just a believer that there's this one consciousness, energy that's in all of us, and we are it. And
Christ consciousness.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're all capable of doing a lot more than what we realize or what we know. And that's kind of where it gets like really cool, where you can tap into your superpower, so to speak.
Yeah. And the thing is, we all have it, and it's here right now. Mm-hmm. Like we're recording a podcast talking about it. They weren't doing this 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, for sure not.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, it's wild.
It's about to blow up. Mm-hmm. By 2030, it's going to be a different playing field.
100%. And we're like, it's happening now. Like you said, like things are changing in the world.
Things are changing. I just did a kids camp, and it was great, teaching them the right mindset from the age of 5th grade to 8th grade. Like I had a group of 7. Number one, it was so rewarding for me. Well, because, now I know like there's some seeds planted there.
Oh yeah. And you're changing their lives at such a young age, and yeah, they'll never forget that.
Yeah. And that's the best time to do it. That's when all of our conditioning happens. I wish I had someone like me come to a camp and
teach
do a talk. So that kind of education is coming.
I love that. I just saw something recently where they were teaching children about the same age to meditate for 5 minutes and like take a time out and learning and like to regulate your emotions too. Like there's, we focus on Western medicine and very like specific things in our country, and a lot of us don't realize there's so many other parts to how life works. Even just being out in nature and taking your shoes off and walking in the grass, things like that, where we're just so accustomed to, everyone's stressed out. We're all on SSRIs, da 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 da. Well, there's other modalities and other ways to, deal with things. So.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, all those things you said is, it's the system that is blocking us from feeling that level of, spirit, energy, consciousness. Mm-hmm. And which gives us the belief that we can do more.
Mm-hmm. And that's by design.
Oh yeah, that's by design. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's happening.
Yeah, and part of that is on the positive of social media. We are seeing things in real time as it's happening. So there's kind of the veil is starting to be lifted, where you can't hide things anymore.
Can't hide.
Like.
Ever since, the 80s with the internet coming out, that was the first turning point of our connectivity to one another. Mm-hmm. And here we are 40 years later, and look how much more advanced it is. And like you said, you can't hide.
Mm-hmm. And so, it's the cool thing too is like people are starting to speak out, and they're seeing that, a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I think we're kind of speaking out.
Yeah, like stuff is bullshit. And
I know.
And they are, like the Epstein list. Come on.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it's not bad because it's fueling the evolution of us
as
going in a loving, connective direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've noticed, not to get political, but now in our current climate, I'll just say, a positive thing that has come from it is a lot of people are reaching out to each other and loving each other and supporting each other, and that's something that the community is huge, and that's been, I don't know that that's the direction that we necessarily anticipated it to go, but it's a great direction when you see people, being human and loving each other. And, I went to, I say I accidentally was in the Pride Parade this year.
Oh, you didn't know it was a Pride Parade?
Well, I'm all for Pride.
No, I know.
All for that. And yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going downtown for what I thought was something else. And I showed up and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Pride today. I totally forgot. And again, this is kind of like a Kismet moment. I'm walking through by myself and I'm calling my son because my son was supposed to be there too. Mm-hmm. And we're chit-chatting on the phone. I'm walking by and this woman asked me to take a picture of her group. And I take a picture of the group and someone in the group goes, Carrie? And I go, oh my gosh, it was my neighbor. So then she says, we're walking in the parade. Do you want to come with us? And I said, oh, well, yeah, of course. So as I'm doing this, I'm just looking around at the sea of people, and just it got me like kind of emotional that everyone was just so supportive and loving, and it was a beautiful day. And like the energy of everyone was palpable.
Yeah.
And whatever your orientation is, it doesn't matter. Like being down there in that moment was so special.
Because it's a celebration. Cool. Mm-hmm. It's a celebration energy. Yeah, and we have the power to throw an event like that every day if we wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So speaking of events, I did an event back in January called Embody Love. Mm-hmm. And the concept of it was for people to take a time out and love themselves. And so we had about 50 people at the event. It was at the Ayurveda Wellness House in Lakewood. And we had an area of Reiki, we had an area of massage, we had an area of a sound bath, and then we had live music downstairs, and we had some infused treats and food and goodies. And we had people get emotional. Like they had the Reiki experiences were profound. The music was so moving. We had a beautiful artist, Sadhu is her name. And just the whole, talking about the energy, everyone was like, when are you doing this again?
Yeah.
And it's just getting like-minded people together for a good
let's
cause.
do another, I'm in. Let's do an event.
Yeah, seriously.
That sounds great right there, what you said, everything.
Yeah, it was great. And then we donated to charity too, which also felt really good. So it was a whole cool experience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. What else?
I don't know. What else do you want to talk about?
No, there was a lot there. That's we're definitely on the same level, so we can
We're gonna chit chat all day.
yeah, we can do another podcast about this. But I think this is good. This one is jam packed with everything. Like at the end of the day, it's like you said, having zero doubt in yourself and just kind of following your intuition, your gut, right? Which you've probably been doing your whole life.
Yeah. And I have never been sort of on the same page, if you will, as other people in my life, in my timeline, we'll say. Having a child at 19.
That was it, right?
Yeah, no, people were going to college when I was raising a child.
Yeah.
And when I was getting divorced, people were getting married. So like my timeline of like my age per se of like chronologically what I'm supposed to be doing at the time never has matched up with anybody else my age. So I've always kind of been sort of a free spirit and kind of doing my own thing without any, people. I'm a unique person, we'll say, without hesitation. So I kind of lean into that and lean into my uniqueness and my and so when I do things, and people say, well, why are you doing that? Because you're this, or why aren't you doing that because of that? And I'm kind of like, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
that's freeing.
Yes. And it is. And then when people start to see that you're getting results from whatever it is that you decided to do, they kind of like come back around. They're like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah. And then maybe
they know what you're doing.
And then maybe they start thinking they can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's how we're all connected.
Yeah.
All right. So where can people buy your awesome gear?
So I have a website, kismetwear.com, and then also Legacy Village at Locally Spruced. They can buy it in store. And I also tell people I'm on Instagram, and I have different events that I do a lot, and I have it always posted on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, Kismet Wear, you can see where I'm at next, my next pop-up or next event, and you can come see me there.
Follow Kismet on Instagram. When is the next event? Do you have one scheduled?
Yeah, my next event is on the 20th at Ariel International Center. It's Woman Up is the brand that's doing, it's a women's event. You can buy the tickets actually on Eventbrite, and it's a whole day of like fitness events and shopping and different experiences and stuff like that. So the 20th is the next one, and then after that is the Cleveland Market. I'll be back there for my third time, August 8th or 9th and 10th, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I might have to skip another podcast or two and release this one like in a couple days. No problem. Carrie, for you, absolutely.
The world. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks, Carrie, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye, guys.